UFO 50 has been consuming all of my spare time lately, and it contains quite a few standout titles. It's only been out for less than a week, so I haven't been able to really get deep into all of them, but these are the games that immediately grabbed my attention and made me want to keep playing. There are a handful of others that I also think are pretty interesting, and who knows, maybe they'll move up in the ranks after I've beaten them. So for those of you who have been playing the game, you can see how my list lines up with yours, and if you haven't jumped in yet, maybe this video will convince you to do so. In no particular order, here are my favorite games from UFO 50. First up is Manor, a point-and-click adventure game with a survival horror twist. I was not expecting to see a game like this at all in the collection, and I know I just said this was in no particular order, but come on, look at this one. You wake up in a locked room with no memory of how you got there. Using only your wits and the items you pick up from the abandoned manor you're trapped in, your goal is to figure out what happened to the people who lived here and, more importantly, find a way to escape. Oh, and watch out for the knife-wielding killer lurking around. Encounters with him will literally cause your hand to start shaking, making it that much more difficult to either fight back or escape. A very, very nice touch. Manor's really got me looking forward to playing the Clock Tower remake that's coming to Steam soon, and it's the perfect game to play as the weather starts to get chilly and we move into the fall season. But if you want to hang on to the warmth of summer for a little while longer, then you can see what's going on in the Magic Garden. This is the first game in UFO 50 I played that really hooked me in. I love Snake to begin with, but this takes the classic to a whole new level by adding this rescue mechanic. Basically, pink guys are good, blue guys are bad, and if you take the pink ones to the star tiles on the floor and drop them off, you get potions you can use to clear the board of any enemies. When I don't know what game I want to play next, I always come back to Magic Garden, and usually find it pretty difficult to leave after I've started playing. It's a fantastic and simple arcade game. One that's a little more out there is Golfaria, sort of a golf exploration Metroidvania game. It's got this bizarre top-down point of view, which makes it kind of hard to tell if a ramp goes up or down, but I also think this just adds to the charm. It did take me a little bit to get into this one because you're given a limited number of strokes. You can increase this number and find other save points in the world, but until then you'll probably be a bit lost in this starting area until you get your bearings. Moving around definitely takes some planning and strategy, but once you start to learn the map, Golfaria becomes a really rewarding experience. If you do get stuck in the game, talk to the other golf balls hanging around for some helpful hints. While we're on the topic of sports games, this is Kick Club. You jump around, kick your ball at enemies, and dodge their attacks. That's it. There's no sort of save system to be found here, so if you want to beat the game, good luck getting through all the worlds without dying, and without running out of time. This really makes me appreciate how most modern games kind of go easy on us, being able to choose what level you start at and including healing mechanics, but there's something so extremely satisfying about reaching a new level or breaking your previous high score and moving up in the leaderboard. In short, Kick Club is kicking my ass, but I won't stop until I beat it. So a lot of these games kind of push you to keep playing them. Just one more try, you tell yourself. I'll only play for 10 more minutes. But Pilot Quest actually wants you to go play other games and come back later. It's an incremental idle game that progresses even when you're doing something else, as long as UFO 50 is open and running. Collect gems by hand, plant seeds to harvest more of them offline, and slowly upgrade your home base by crafting, collecting, and repeating. There are action elements here too, when you head out into the wilds to explore dungeons, fight monsters, and collect treasure, but this all comes with a timer, which forces you to wait for more resources ready to harvest so you can do it all over again. Might not be for everyone, but Pilot Quest is certainly one of the more inventive games in the collection, and I can't stop thinking about it. UFO 50 actually has multiple Metroidvanias, and Porgy is another one of them. A much more classic presentation than Golfaria, this one takes place underwater as you dive deeper and deeper, finding upgrades, fighting off fish, and uncovering the secrets that lurk in the depths. The game's kinda hard, there are a lot of enemies to dodge, and your torpedoes lag behind you a bit, which makes it difficult to line your shots up, but there's also a lot to love. First off, this submarine is unbelievably cute. There are a ton of shortcuts to make exploring easier as you go, side quests, boss fights. This is a whole entire game. Not to mention all the full-on RPGs that are included in the collection too. Maybe not my cup of tea, but Porgy certainly is, and I know a lot of you who frequent my channel will like it too. And last is Campanella. Now I know that some people are really digging Campanella 2, but I've barely played the sequel because I want to beat this game first, so keep that in mind. This is another one of those limited lives, die, and you have to go back to the start of the games. Takes the basic movement mechanics of the Big Bell Race and expands Campanella into kind of a precision platformer. You're not actually using the platforms though. If you run into the floor or the walls, then you do take damage, so maybe this is more of an anti-platformer. And aside from the basic obstacle course that is each level, the game also has mini challenges, hidden coffee cups, shortcuts, lots of secrets to discover, which is why Campanella has made it into this list. As I mentioned, my thoughts may change slightly as I start beating more games, but for now I'm happy with my choices here. I may or may not make another UFO 50 video, it's too early to say, but I can say that I have featured a bunch of other great games on the channel already, including these.